Okay, let's title this post, "What the fuck is wrong with Gen Z?" And I'm not trying to offend any of you Gen Zers, but really weigh in and comment. Is this a generational thing or is this an individual thing?
I was at this party and this guy says to me, "How do I manage 23-year-olds?" He is a leader at a really big media company. And he says, "I have these people on their team, but they're just so different from me. How do I make them care about the business the way that I do?" He literally asks me, he says, "Why don't they want to make the job part of their identity like I do?"
Hi, how are you? How are you today? Honestly, I actually wasn't going to film, but I am so exhausted. I've also been sick throughout the week, so it's been like me battling sickness and also battling other things too.
I'm okay. I'm fine. Quinchana. Quinchana. Ding, ding, ding.
So I'm gonna try to make this as upbeat as I can. Y'all should bear with me. I feel like I was having a hard time having something be upbeat like my videos, but it's always like chill and all. So I'm gonna see if I can match you guys' energy. Period. But hi, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. I missed you guys. I know I'm barefaced today. Like I said, I've been sick. I wasn't in the mood of wearing any makeup and I have been exhausted. You hear me? Exhausted. Anyways, I did want to talk to you guys today. So raise your hands if you're a Gen Z. Cause I know I am. I know. It might look like I'm not, but I promise you, I am a Gen Z.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
And you feel like I can't prove that I'm a Gen Z, but I can. Because I have bubble tea. Have you ever heard the term Gen Zs are lazy, they don't like to work, they always complain? Yeah, I'm talking about you boomers.
Hi there, young people. Nice day today.
So, you like kicking butts, do ya?
Contrary to popular belief, we're not lazy and we don't only like to complain. Well, I don't know, maybe a little bit minority, but we don't only like to complain about things, okay? We like to work, we like to be useful in society. But guess what? The world doesn't love us no matter what we do. We are in constant crippling debt. And we can have motivation to work for somebody that will fire us in the blink of an eye. That being said, let's go ahead and watch some videos today. Really talk about how Gen Zs are lazy and, how we should change ourselves and be breaking our backs for corporations and companies that don't give a two flying fuck about us.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9-to-5 for the rest of their lives. Let me put it in perspective for everybody who's a little confused here, okay? I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat. All by myself. I would not be capable of doing that. 20 years ago, when you were getting started, you could live on your own.
Obviously you can't, because minimum wage is trash. Prices are going up for every single thing. I can't even afford to live on my own right now. But I guess we're lazy, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I actually really struggle with videos like this, to be honest. And when I shared it on Twitter, what I said is like two things can be true at once, right? The economy is bad right now. Inflation is insane, and the people responsible for that should be held accountable. And also, the people like this young woman who are complaining about it need to learn to put two and two together. Like the policies that you support, the things that you think you like, I'm betting just based on your generation, those are the things that are making you poor. So I don't have a ton of sympathy for it because I tend to feel like you have so much privilege as an American.
Okay, well, I guess they just wanted to promote their podcast. That still doesn't change the fact that people are not able to survive and people are living hand to mouth and people are in crippling debt. Like you said, two things can be true at once. You're saying that, oh, based off of her generation and how she's complaining, that you are making that assumption that she's not making good life choices or good life decisions. She's working 40 hours per week. Isn't that what you guys always wanted? To go to school and then go to work and then work for 65 years of your life and then die. My audience is mostly full of Gen Zers, like, 18 to 25 and stuff like that. And there is a few people that are like millennials that do watch my videos. And if you do and you're a millennial, fuck you want me to do about it? I'm just kidding. Calm down. Calm down. I'm not coming for millennials, okay? This is not a video to bash millennials or bash boomers or whatever the generation is. I'm so over it. I'm just being realistic here, okay? Things are not how it used to be. Before, you could buy a house for like $20,000 and your life will be good and you have family and kids and a great job. But now, you can't even afford to pay rent. That's how bad the economy is, okay? Why do you think people like her are doing podcasts? She could have been working a 9 to 5. No one's stopping her from doing so. But she has her own business because she knows corporate America is shit. Next video.
Okay, let's title this post, "What the fuck is wrong with Gen Z?"
Okay, well, that's off to a great start. So let's continue.
And I'm not trying to offend any of you Gen Zers, but really weigh in and comment. Is this a generational thing or is this an individual thing?
Before we get into what she's talking about, I am so done with the whole, is this a generational thing? Is this like Gen Z, like millennials, generational problems? Like, shut up. Shut up.
So let me share with you what I'm talking about. I own a business. I just hired somebody last week, ran through the interview process. She was introduced to me by somebody else. She's in Chicago. I hire her on Friday, check references. I actually spend my weekend running down to the Apple store, getting her a new MacBook, setting up her computer, finishing up her training program. I basically sacrificed my entire weekend to get this girl ready to go.
First of all, shut up, okay? You're already pissing me off with this video. You didn't sacrifice any entire weekend. She's working for you. The money that she's gonna be bringing into your business is much more worth than a stupid MacBook and a stupid iPad that you're gonna buy for her, that you're not even gonna give her if she should leave. So shut up. You ain't sacrificing nothing, okay? It's your business. You are responsible for doing that. So I don't want to hear nothing from you, okay? All these business owners, there's some business owners that are just like, oh, I sacrificed my distance. Nah, honey, you're hiring her. That is your responsibility, okay?
She meets me at the office on Monday. She actually beat me to the office, so that was nice. But within the first hour, she's trying to take her chair and she's trying to, move it back. And she asks us, do these recline? Do these recline anymore? It's like, no, we're at work. Why do you need to lay down? You don't need to lay down at work, do you?
What the fuck does reclining chairs have to do with laying down and being at work? So because the chair reclines, that means you're lazy. You see what I mean? When people like this are so entitled to believe that everything should be a certain way for them. It's either their way or no way. So because I decide to recline a chair backwards to maybe rest my back from sitting straight up for 8 hours a day, it means I'm lazy. Do you know how hard it is to sit straight up for 8 hours a day? Human beings are not designed to sit straight up for 8 hours a day. She looks like a Karen. She looks like a Karen. She's talking like a Karen. And let's just keep watching because I'm already triggered, honestly.
So that happens, and then we go to lunch. And during our lunch conversation, it was herself and another employee and myself. She shares with us that she was an au pair in Spain. And, the best part about the job was that she could nap whenever she wanted. When the kids napped, she napped, right? Not showing a lot of signs of being a true hustler whatsoever. And then she continues to say she despises kids, so she didn't like that job. My other employee, you should have seen the look on her face because she's like, okay, your boss is a mom of 2. Maybe don't say you despise kids.
Okay, and? Girl, shut up, okay? Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Nothing you're saying is making sense. Okay, you have kids and I'm telling you that I don't like kids. Huh? Like, are you stupid or are you dumb? You gotta pick one. You can't be both.
It's just knowing your audience, having a little bit of couth and, I don't know, self-awareness, right?
Yeah, you need to be self-aware of your stupidity. Literally.
So, fine, you hate kids. So then we come back to the office, and within 45 minutes after lunch, this girl falls asleep at her desk. I shit you not. I go to the bathroom, I come back, I slam the door thinking that might rouse her. It doesn't. So I touch her arm and she wakes up, and I go back to my desk, and we all kind of just sat there in silence for an hour. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. This is my first day. Yeah. you think? I think most people would grab their shit and get the hell out of there, right? Just completely humiliated. So, I had a meeting with her an hour after that. So we already had that scheduled. So I meet her in the conference room and I basically just gave her a check for the day. I'm like, you know what? Here you go. Thanks for your time. This is your first day. You fell asleep. Like, this is, not going to work out. She asked, is there anything she can do? I said, no, bye. So, and when I checked her references, the one gal had said she was tardy pretty often.
Couple of things before we get into the last part. Yeah, don't fall asleep at your job, okay? Especially if it's your first day. I understand why she fell asleep, because that's why me at work, I don't like to have lunch, especially if you have an office job. The moment you have lunch, give it like 30-45 minutes, an hour, you're gonna fall asleep. I don't know what the chemistry is behind it. I need to look that up. I know it got to do with like serotonin and whatever. Anyways, I really don't care. That's not the point. Don't fall asleep at work. Number one. Number two, she says she checked her references. So now that she has the problem, she checked her references and said she was tardy. But before you hired her, her references were great. So which one is it? Was her references tardy and you decided to hire her? Or was her references great and then you hired her? Which one is it? You can't be lukewarm. You can't say A at the beginning of the movie and then say Z.
And when we had interviewed her, we asked, are you an early bird or a night owl? And she said, oh, I'm a night owl. I just want to sleep, right? So zero hustle.
She said hustle 3 times. Red flag. I wouldn't want to work for her, honestly. She said, oh, no hustling spirit. Not everybody wants to hustle, okay? Some people just want to not hustle. You know what hustling is? Hustling is not easy and it's not for everybody. No, I don't want to hustle. And also, what does that have to do with being a night owl? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. This woman is driving me crazy. What does hustling have to do with being a night owl or being an early morning person? Some people do all their work in the night. Does that still make them any less hardworking? Why is that question even in the interview? This is why people hate corporate America. And this is why people don't want to work jobs like this that ask you stupid, dumbass questions that have nothing to do with the role that you're applying for. She is part of the problem. Honestly, she really is. Great, she has a business, but bro, I wouldn't want to work for this person. And not because I'm lazy or because I'm unmotivated. If you know what I'm trying to do in my life, you will be like, maybe you should calm down a little bit. Me doing this video is literally an evidence of me not being lazy, okay? But I still wouldn't want to work for her because working for her would be hell. I would not go near her, honestly. Even as a business partner or someone that's working for her, the moment you don't see eye to eye with these people, you're now the enemy.
So that's fine. But what's up with this? Like, this is just insanity to me that this is how people behave, right?
No, you're insane. And you need Jesus.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their lives.
She's exactly right. She's totally and utterly right. And I think it's so important we genuinely listen to this message because we have two groups of people now. 20 years ago, you worked hard. And again, look, this is my point. Don't start thinking this is us just slamming the generation above. You all worked hard, but you worked hard with hope. And what I mean by that is working hard's great if you're working towards something, a house, earnings, income, whatever it might be. As Gen Zs, because everything is clipped, and I do mean everything, rent, food, bills, the full fucking lot, no chance of getting on the property matter, it's really hard to motivate yourself when you literally, it's at the end of the month, you go, I've done all this work for the month and I've got no more money than when I started. Like, it's really hard to work hard when you have no hope. And this is the situation we're heading toward, and it's something society has got to fix, and we've got to start listening to these younger generations because they're not all lazy. Of course they're not. And anyone who gets caught saying that is a complete and utter mug. Genuinely, if we don't fix this, we're going to have such issues because this generation is going to have to look after the generation above, don't forget, at some point. It's going to be our world at some point. And the fact we're giving them such an unfair starting point is just not acceptable. And people need to start listening to this because it is going to cause systemic issues soon if people don't start getting on board.
Yeah, and I'm also going to add, like, people are talking about Gen Z being lazy in, like, the job force and, like, the workforce, whatever it is, whatever they want to say. I have been on the job market for years, bro. Do you know how many people apply to jobs every single day? If you look at, like, TikTok videos, I think TikTok videos are just really hyper-focused. They're just the hyper-focused, English has escaped me. TikTok videos display a large problem. Just because you see one person going into places and, dropping in resumes after graduating and whatever it is, and you think, oh, it's just like that one person. No, it's like millions other people. They're not just posting it on TikTok. Another thing that people need to understand is with the generation above us or the generation behind us, I really don't know. Honestly, at this point, it's all the same. What had happened was if you went to school, got a good degree, you were more likely to get a good job. But now your degree doesn't even matter anymore. And that's why more and more people are literally saying, fuck it, I am not going to school anymore. Imagine someone that has a PhD working minimum wage. They spent so much money because technically the dreams that we were sold was that if you went to school and got all these education, you were guaranteed to get a good job. But that doesn't even matter anymore. It really doesn't. And so where's the hope? Nothing. There is no hope to do anything. You go out, you work, you come back home, you go out again, you work and work and work. You probably don't spend time with friends. You probably have crippling debt, student loans, credit card debt, whatever it is that you do have. You have all those kind of personal debt. And then it's like, whatever you're working for, you hate your job still. Like, you hate your job at the end of the day. What you went to school for is not what you're doing. So what does it matter anymore? Really? Like, what does it matter anymore? We were sold this dream that if you went to school and if you graduated and you got a good degree or whatever it was, you were guaranteed to get a job. Your rating in the job market was way higher than the next person or the person beside the next person. But now it's like corporations don't care about whether you graduated top of class. They really don't. So what's the use? It's like, oh yeah, you need to have like 5 years of experience, but how do I get 5 years of experience in a particular role when entry level requires some certain amount of requirements, like certifications or, degrees? I was looking at one job one time and this job literally said it's an entry level role, but you need to have a PhD or a master's for a fucking entry level role. Are you kidding me? For an entry level role, you need to have a master's. Like, that was literally one of the requirements. Why do you think more Gen Zs are going into the creative spaces? Have you ever seen more YouTubers in today's age than in the past 10 years? Have you ever seen more artists, creators on the internet? Why do you think people are going into these different spaces? Is because corporate America isn't doing anything for them anymore. And so I think people need to understand, especially older generations, if you do have that mindset that Gen Zs are lazy and whatever it is, I think you need to understand. I think you keep comparing where you were when you're 20 and where we are now when we're 20. Where you were when you were 20 years old is not the same world that it is right now.
I was at this party and this guy says to me, how do I manage 23-year-olds? He is a leader at a really big media company. And he says, I have these people on their team, but they're just so different from me. How do I make them care about the business the way that I do? He literally asks me, he says, why don't they want to make the job part of their identity like I do? So I just turn to him and I say, why? Why do they need to do that? And that one question kind of blew his mind. Obviously, it's important that people do a good job at their job. So we agreed that he would focus a little bit more on that and a little bit less about some of the other stuff.
Yeah, why would I want to make my job part of my identity? A job that I probably don't like. And even if I did like it, why would I want to make it part of my identity? I don't care about your business like you do. Because at the end of the day, whatever happens to the business, like if the business runs down, that's on you. If it succeeds, that's on you too. It's not like I'm getting any cut of it, whether bad or good. Why do I want to care about that? And I'm not saying it in a malicious way. I'm actually genuinely saying, like, if I hired somebody to work for me, let's say on this YouTube channel, I don't expect them to show the level of commitment that I am showing for the growth of this YouTube channel, because it's not their YouTube channel. At the end of the day, I'm gonna pay them a salary, and even if I end up making on this channel $100,000, if the contract in that salary says they're getting paid 40K, that's what they're getting paid. Even if I break record and make 200K, they're still gonna get that 40K because that's what their contract says. mindsets. Why should they care? And people that make their jobs part of their identity, I mean, go for it. Do you if you want to, honestly. At this point, like, it really doesn't matter. But like, ain't nobody care. Like, people have families and people want to live freely and just be, you know, content with where they are. Some people want to do great things, and being a job is not part of their identity, especially if that job can let them go today without notice. Okay, one more video and we'll wrap this up.
Would you be able to start this weekend?
Actually, I had a trip planned to Texas for my brother's wedding this weekend, but that's not important. I can do that some other time. I'll be here this weekend. Thank you, sir.
When would you be able to start?
I can start in 2 weeks. Or you know what? Just put TBD for now.
TBD. Oh, is it because you have to let your old job know?
No, I'll be in California on vacation for a couple of weeks, and I'm thinking about staying an additional week, but I can let you know more information when it's closer to the date.
Okay, that'd be appreciated.
Okay, great. Also, due to a prior commitment, I will be taking 3 days of PTO about a week after I start. I just wanted to make sure there weren't any conflicts there.
No, that's fine.
As you should. Take that PTO. Don't let no company tell you you can't take PTO, okay? Because these companies don't care about you. Take that time off, travel, even stay at home if you want to, bro. But you better take that time off, okay? Call in sick. And I know this is gonna be very controversial, but I promise you, if you don't call in sick, you keep on working, and you're like, you know, you want to be the best employee, nothing's going to change for you. Like, nothing is actually going to change. You're not going to promote you for not calling in sick. You're not going to promote you for not taking PTO. They're not going to promote you for not taking vacation. Do that, okay? Don't let these companies play with you. Really, don't let them play with you, okay? Do that. Story time. I used to work for a company that we had to work on holidays. You bet that I was calling in sick on those holidays too, baby girl. What you mean? What you mean by that? Hell no. And that's all I have to say. Live your life for yourself, because at the end of the day, there's only you. And yeah, it might be a selfish thing to say, but let me tell you something. If you were to die tomorrow, your desk will be cleared max 3 days. The next week, someone else going to be sitting on there. That's it. If you were to be fired tomorrow, someone's probably sitting there the next day. They will fire you without cause, effective immediately, and you wouldn't even see it coming. So do what you have to do for yourself. To be honest, this is the shortest video that I have filmed. I'm running out of space already, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I am so tired. So tired. I might stream on Monday, or maybe not, because Monday is family day in Canada, and so it's a holiday. But I might go out with Bay. I don't know. We'll see if he decides to take me out. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think this whole generational battle is so overrated, and I'm so tired of it. And I think people need to wake up. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I love you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.